We're working on my wife's 2011 Lexus RX 350. The CV axle needs to be replaced, as well as the lower control arm on the driver front. Haven't done this before on this vehicle, so we're going to figure it out, and I'll take you along with me. Welcome to Tooltime John. While I'm here doing some other work, I noticed the driver front lower control arm is shot, basically the bushing. So I got a used, genuine Lexus lower control arm off of eBay, and I'm going to be replacing that on here as well. So enjoy. Make sure to safely jack up your vehicle and put it on jack stands. Engage your emergency brake and also chock the rear tire. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to pull the axle out. So we've got an axle nut, and I believe that's 30 millimeters. So we're going to have to break that loose, but before we can do that, we've got to take off the upper sway bar link nut and the outer tie rod end so that we free the knuckle off there, and then we can pull the axle out. You can just push it out of the way. And then we're gonna have to remove this outer tie rod end, and I believe that's a 17. So the bottom of the tie rod end has a castle nut on it. You can see that there's a cotter pin. And we just have to get the cotter pin off. Just use pliers and bend it back up into shape. Grab it right there. There we go, and it's out. Next, we're going to hit right here with a sledgehammer while pulling up on this thing to remove this from its mount. All right, so there's the 30 millimeter socket, and this axle is going to move more than likely, but if you're like me having to do this yourself, you should be able to put like a screwdriver in the brake rotor in one of the slots and have it go against the caliper, and we should be able to break it loose. Otherwise, you can have someone go inside the vehicle and step on the brake so it doesn't move. Yeah, this has got 200 something foot-pounds of force on here. For this, I'm bringing a cheater pipe. Wow. Pretty sure this is all original from the factory, but we'll see. Then what we need to do is separate this part from the ball joint. So you're going to need a pry bar. There we go. Now this axle should be able to go in and out, but it looks like it's in there pretty dang good. Put the axle nut back on so I don't ruin the end there. Okay. And then what we need to do is pull the whole assembly out, and we'll move this out of the way about 90 degrees to where it's sitting. There we go. So now we've got access to pull this out, but we'll have to go up underneath there and pry it away from the transmission. But you can see that that inner boot is all kinds of tore up, and it's flung grease everywhere. The outer boot is in pretty good shape. All right, so there's the CV axle into the transmission, and we're going to have to break it loose. We're going to want to get right here and try to pop that off. So with calculated brutality, I used the longer pry bar and just give it the ooga-doogas. I gave it the beans and it popped off. And as you can tell, I've got a little bit of tranny fluid that's leaking out of that hole. So I'm going to check this CV axle, and hopefully it can be used again with a new boot. Right, so this is the one that came out of the Lexus. New boot on, and hopefully the internals and joints are in good condition. I'm going to break this off because, well, I've got new bands. All right, yep, hardly any grease in there. I'm going to have to get this off, so I've got to clean it off. Yeah, bearings look good. I thought there was a crack. It's just grease. There you go, 1C clip off. All right. Get on there, C-clip. There we go. Oh, shoot. Know where the hole is. There we go. I'm gonna have to replace the lower control arm because that bushing is pretty dry rotted. And since I have the axle out, I've got a little bit of room to work. My challenge is this motor mount right here blocks that 22 bolt back there. So I'm gonna have to loosen up the motor mount and probably lift the engine just slightly to get that motor mount out of there, because the lower control arm only has 1, 2, 3 bolts holding it on. Busted out my 1/2-inch breaker bar and cheater pipe. Yep. And then underneath here are these 2 little rubber caps. You just gotta pull them undone. And those are 17s as well, and guarantee you those are going to be just as tight as that other one. So, cheater pipe on that. Yep. Yep. Gotta loosen up the top one. Top motor mount is a 19 millimeter. It's going to be kind of a tight fit. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to turn it or not. So I'm just going to have to put the old 2 wrenches together to see if that'll give me enough torque. Yeah, and it does. Motor mount is loose, but everything's tied to the weight of the engine on top of it. So I'm going to have to raise the engine and kind of clear that from there so I can get it out. Looks like I have to remove the top motor mounts, so I'm going to do that. 14s. That's a booger. That's a booger. All right, see if that gave us some more room. Let's see, did that give us the room that we needed? Not quite. I got the motor mount out, so. Got that broken loose, so now I can go in with my easy. Finally got that bolt out. Had to loosen the plastic shield under there. Now I can get this control arm out. There we go. Installation is just the opposite of taking it out, so. Take that old ball joint off so I can put the new ball joint on. And the way to do that is by taking the castle nut off, which has got a cotter pin, and beating this with a sledge until the vibrations will allow the ball joint to fall out. So unfortunately, I lost all the footage of me finishing up the installation of the newer lower control arm as well as the CV axle back into the transmission. But I can tell you it took a lot more force than I thought I needed. And it was exhausting. It really was exhausting. But by doing it myself, I saved a ton of money. I think depending on your area and the shops, you're looking at anywhere from $1,500 and up to do that kind of job. So anyway, the car is running fine. The transmission isn't slipping anymore. So all said and done, I'm pretty proud of myself. It took a lot longer than I thought I would need, but it always does, right? DIYers will always take about twice to 3 times as long as any kind of shop estimate will give you. So just bear that in mind. So hopefully this was very helpful for you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. But again, appreciate your views. And until next time, see ya.